and to answer any questions that you may have as I take the angst out of weight management. So I'm happy to be here, and I'm thrilled to see some of you joining in. Thank you so much. We will be starting formally in just a few minutes, and I'll be excited to do that with you and hear your questions. I'm gonna go grab my glasses, I think. So no, I think I'll be fine. So I'm so excited to be here, everybody. And I'm just checking in to see who's here, and I know someone is here, and I'm thrilled about that. So thumbs up to let me know you're here, and I'll be starting in just a few. If you have your computer, it'll be very easy for you to just chat in and to and to and to ask your questions, because I'll be thrilled to answer them and to make this as easy as possible and remove any angst that you might have. We've got 2 minutes. We are countdown. I'm just here to get set up and be early, so that for anybody who's joining in, you can see that I'm going to just move my light. As you can see, we're doing this live, and I can see that light is perhaps having an effect on my board, and I certainly don't want that. So I'm going to do this, and I think that will make it a little easier. Really glad we did that, so that you can see a little easier, and you'll be able to see my board. I'm going to move my laptop right out of the way. There we go. So that now you'll be able to see the board as I explain to you the energy equation and help you to understand how we lose weight and what's going on as you're trying to manage your weight. You can see. And it's been beautiful out, and it gets everybody excited to go out and exercise, and that's just what we want to do. So everybody, I'm excited that you're here. I think we're going to get started in just right now. All right, everybody. Welcome. It's 7 o'clock, so I want to welcome you to my live stream on YouTube, Dietitian with the Dietitian. For those of you who have had trouble managing your weight, the needle isn't moving, and you're just not sure what's going on, I'm going to answer all those questions for you and help to remove the stress around dieting. For those of you who are new to my channel, let me welcome you. My name is Debbie Kravitsky. I've been a registered dietitian for over 30 years. I have a master's degree in clinical nutrition. Currently, I'm the director of nutrition at Mass General Hospital's Cardiovascular Disease Prevention Center. I have a private practice. I have consulted for many corporations and appeared in national publications such as Harper's Bazaar and Family Circle magazine. I've also appeared in television. I'm here to present evidence-based nutrition information to you so that you will not only be able to adopt a healthier lifestyle, but you'll be able to maintain a healthier lifestyle. Because after doing all the work, you don't want to just get there, but you want to be able to stay there. And that truly, I think, is the harder part. So together, we will shop, we will cook, and I will navigate the way. If this interests you, please subscribe to my channel, because I will continue to provide segments, and if there are things that you would like me to cover, definitely I look forward to hearing from you, and you can write those comments in the bar below. Let's get started today. Here we go. To understand weight loss, it's very important to understand that it is, at the end of the day, a calorie game. And while you may have heard that there's an energy equation, let me explain it to you, because now you'll be able to make some sense out of it. It basically looks like this. Calories in, which is basically energy in, minus calories out, is your weight. So, calories in. I'm sure you know. Do you know how we get calories in? I'm looking at my comments, and you're absolutely right. Calories in comes from the food that we eat. calories out is influenced by two things. Calories out is influenced by your metabolic rate. That's the calories required for you to function, for your heart to pump, your lungs to work, for you to just sit here as you're watching this video and just exist. This number, this metabolic rate, it's always in flux. And it's influenced by many things. I don't know about you, but as I'm getting older, I don't get away with half as much as I did when I was younger because as we age, our metabolic dial slows down. Isn't that unfair? And gender. Oh, you men. You have more muscle mass because you have more testosterone, you make more muscle. A pound of muscle at rest burns 2 to 3 times more calories than a pound of fat. So by virtue of the fact that you have more muscle, you rev at a higher rate than women do. You lose weight easier than we do. It's why we hate you. We want it all the way out in the open. I'm just kidding, of course. But we all lose about a quarter of a pound of muscle every year. If you don't want to eat like a pigeon, if you've got the green light to do so, make sure you include strength training as an integral part of your exercise regime. And genetics. You inherited a certain metabolic rate, so at least you know who to thank. This calories out is also influenced by what you do to get through the day. And this is broken down into two groups. One called activities of daily living. So people say to me all the time, oh, I exercise, I walk my dog. No, sorry, that's activities of daily living. The goal of formal exercise, which is also part of activities, is to improve the function of your lungs and your heart. And that requires intensity. So if you get on a treadmill, you'll dial up the speed, you'll dial up the intensity. You'll dial up the incline, speed times incline is intensity, and that's exactly what you want. And you want both of these. So you don't want to go to the gym and sit the rest of the day. You want to combine formal exercise with an active lifestyle. And keep in mind that while technology's changed, we're still wired like cavemen. To a cavemen were wired to be hunters and gatherers. So you're wired to move. So park your car a little further, take the stairs instead of the elevator. Everything will add up. Keep moving. Sitting really is the new smoking. So every 35 minutes, you need to rev your engine. Get up, walk up and down the halls, pump your arms, do something to get that heart rate going because you need to always be moving. Here we go. Here's how we lose weight. Say you take in, and I'm going to make this up, 2,000 calories in a course of a day. Your metabolic rate, that's going to count for most of the calories you burn. It might be 1,600. And maybe you burn 400 to get through the day. If 2,000 calories come in and 2,000 calories come out, what happens to your weight? Totally right. It stays steady. Now you say, oh, I know what's doing it. It's the nighttime. I'm snacking too much at night. I can cut that. And so you do. And so you cut 300 calories in the course of your day. You cut your nighttime snack. Go you. Keeping in mind one thing. We're wired like cavemen. To cavemen, who all of a sudden gets 300 calories less in the course of a day, that's like saying, whoa, food isn't plentiful here anymore. We must be in a place of semi-starvation or famine. So this metabolic dial of yours, it's adjustable so your body can survive what it is interpreting to be a sign of famine. So your metabolic dial says, I don't need 1,600 calories to get by. I'm fine on 1,300 calories to get by. Now what happens to your weight? You've got 1,700 coming in. You've got 13 and 4. 1,700 going out. What happens to your weight? Nothing. It stays nice and steady and even. And you say to yourself, you know something? My metabolism, it's all screwed up. My body is weird. I gave up that nighttime snack. I didn't lose an ounce. I missed that nighttime snaps. So forget about it. Bring it back. Actually, let's make it a little more. Now you can't help but gain weight. You start a weight loss program here, and you want to see results, right? You want to see your weight go down. But unfortunately, that isn't the way we always lose. So knowing this will let you wrap your arms around it. When we lose weight, here's how we lose. At the beginning, your weight might go up and down, and up and down, and up and down, as you're asking it to do what it's not wired to do. It's wired to hold on to fat so you can survive. You're asking it to do the opposite. So look for the signs that it's getting ready to let go. Maybe you're getting more fit. Maybe your mood is improving. Your energy level is going up. Your percent body fat is coming down. Your clothes are getting looser as you're getting more tone. Your waist circumference is getting smaller. Your blood cholesterol, blood sugar, blood pressure are all improving. You're just not checking. Stay the course. That metabolic dial can't help but let go. It will, and you will lose the weight. That's why consistency is the name of the game. It needs to be a lifestyle, not a diet, which means if it's consistency, it's not perfection. Most of the time. Never let perfection get in the way of better. Most of the time, you're going to be fine. You have the occasional whatever, you're okay, as long as you get right back on track. You always want to talk to yourself at least as nice as your GPS. You take a wrong turn, the GPS doesn't say, idiot, I said left. What does the GPS say? You're right, it says recalculating. Just get right back on track. This is about treating yourself well and talking to yourself nicely. Now I can see that there might be a question here, and it is, yes, Debbie, snacking too much late at night is my weakness. We'll talk about that in just a minute. It is a great point because you're not alone. It's my challenge as well. So in order to combat that, I'm going to address that in just a minute because it's an excellent point, Barb. Thank you for bringing it up. But I just also want to tell you that you're always going to have to readjust. So follow me here. If you start at a certain weight, that's going to be a certain mass. It requires a certain number of calories to maintain. It requires fewer calories to create the deficit to promote the weight loss. Now you lose weight. You have less of a body mass, which requires even fewer calories to maintain and even fewer to promote the deficit to create the weight loss, which means you're going to have to readjust. Hopefully it will take care of itself. Hopefully you become more fit, so in the same 35 minutes, maybe you're now burning more calories. You also learn how to eat better. You look at my video, how to eat more for less. It will show you how to fill your plate. And then you'll be able to make wiser choices, and it will start to take care of itself. You'll also you'll start to see when you're really hungry, when you really need to eat, and when you don't, so that you don't need to be chomping all the time. Eventually you'll learn to be physically quiet with your mouth. But you will get there. Additionally, we're not perfect. None of us are. So we're not always on all the time. Every time you do this, you might start at seeing weight loss results right away. But it may not come for a while. And anytime you go off and on and off and on, it will be different. There was a time I was getting ready. I had gone a little stray, so I needed to get back on track. And I was very careful with what I was eating, and I was exercising regularly, and that needle didn't move an ounce. And I'm sure you know how frustrating that is. It took, for my body that particular time, it took about a month. But there's no downside to eating healthy. Stay the course and you're going to see the results. It's the people who quit too soon who never reap these benefits. So stay the course and you will get there. Let me address the nighttime snacking because Barbara had a good point. Here we go. I'm going to erase this board or part of this board so that I can show you what to do with nighttime snacking. There is a circadian rhythm to sleep, which means there'll be times when you are in a deep sleep and times when you're in a lighter sleep. There is also a circadian rhythm to metabolism, which means when it becomes dark out, when it's nighttime, your metabolism, that rate at which you're burning calories, it goes into sleep mode. So those people who go all day and then eat at night, your engine is now burning so slowly, it's going to be hard for you to lose weight. Instead, I recommend eat dinner like a queen or a king. Eat breakfast like a king, queen or a king. Eat lunch like a prince or a princess, and have dinner like a pauper, because it will make a difference. A study showed that two groups, both consuming the same number of calories, when they flipped the distribution of the calories, the group who ate the most of their calories in the morning versus the one who did it at night lost about 25% more weight. So make sure that you understand the circadian rhythm to metabolism. If nighttime is a hard time for you, what I want you to do is, I'm going to erase this. I want you to do what's called a behavior circle. I want you to draw some circles and to see where it is, the steps that are leading you to overeating. So what you do is you'll go like this. And Barb, you can definitely chime in here. Maybe you're coming home at night, you're having your dinner, but then you stay sitting in the kitchen. So you're sitting in the kitchen. That's what you're doing. And in the kitchen, you have access to all the food. You might get a little bored or a little nudgy, and so you start grazing. So you're snacking. And then to overeating. So instead, we need to break the pattern, because that's what's leading you to eat. We backstep and we say sitting in the kitchen, that's getting us in trouble. So maybe if instead of that, we have dinner, and instead of staying in the kitchen, where might you go? Maybe you go read in your study or in your bedroom or your family room. Or maybe you watch TV or you play Candy Crush and you can send me a life. And then, no snacking. You brush your teeth and you're off and you're doing great. So think about the step before you started to eat at night and what you can do to change that behavior pattern, that behavior chain, so that then you can get the results that you were looking for. But I'm so glad you brought that up, Barb, because nighttime eating is a problem for many of us. Oh, good idea, Debbie. Thank you, Barb. I'm so thrilled you're here. And shout out to all my patients at Mass General, and shout out to all my patients at MathWorks and in my private practice. I'm so thrilled you're here with me on the live stream, and I'm thrilled to have your comments and your thumbs up to let me know you're here. Really excited to have you. So I hope this helps clear up any confusion around weight. There is no downside to eating healthy. Stay the course. You are going to get there. But understand that that stagnation at the beginning, that is just a normal part of the process as you ask your body to do what it's not wired to do. Things that will impact that metabolism are stress, which includes lack of sleep, whether it's happy stress or sad stress, and definitely hormonal changes that you may be going through. But stay the course. It's no excuse. And include exercise to help rev that metabolic rate and wake it up. I hope this helps. Thank you for joining me.